All right, so I'm doing my interview with Shay Jones for Social Work 460, and we'll just get right into it. I'm obviously the social worker, and Shay is the client. So, Shay, I hear you coming in and you're feeling a little stressed out about what's going on in life right now. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. My husband just got transferred to Columbia from Washington, and we just lost all of our friends. We don't know anybody down here, and our family lives in Colorado, so they're just all really far away. And we have a 2-year-old, and I am pregnant currently, and I haven't been able to find a job down here, and so, just the financial, the added stress, and needing to pay for daycare and find a daycare we trust without an income. It's been an adjustment for sure.
So, just to kind of, so I understand a little bit better, sounds like you've got a huge transition in your life. Is there any of those that maybe stress you out more than other factors? Because you got quite a bundle going on, actually.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the financial factor. I've worked since I was 14 years old, and so I think just feeling like I'm burdening my husband, even though he doesn't make me feel that way, it's just not being able to contribute to finances is definitely the added stress for me.
So, do you feel that between you and your husband, has it become any friction between the two of you, or is it just that you feel because your roles have changed, in addition to the transition, that you're obligated to be part of a financial obligation?
Yeah, it's definitely more me. He's been great, but I mean, it's definitely impacted our life. Like him and I used to have date night once a week, and that costs money, and so we haven't been able to do that. So we haven't been able to have as much time to ourselves as we normally do, which is going to be interesting. Adding another child to the family, I don't want to lose that connection with him. But other than that, it's more just me feeling like that's my obligation to help out instead of putting it all on him and having him stressed about, providing for now 4 of us versus just me and my son previously.
So you mentioned the connection between the two of you, and you also mentioned that you lost your support group. Do you feel that you've lost support, or that you just, due to transition, haven't developed anything new in the area?
I mean, I would say definitely lost support as far as, like, in Washington with my son, if there was anything I needed, I had a list of at least 5 people that I could call in an instant, and they would come and pick me up if my tire blew, or come and help me if my son was sick, or, I could just call them for anything, and I would have at least one person at my door that instant, where down here, we haven't really had an opportunity to meet anybody yet. And so our neighbors are really great, but it's just we were in Tacoma for so long that I feel like we built an extended group of family, even though our family's been away for so long. And so leaving that, not only is it sad, but it's just where it's lonely.
Right. So what forced you to move from Tacoma, where you had a big support system and you had lots of friends and you were comfortable and working, to Columbia?
My husband's job.
Which is?
He's in the Army.
So how long have you been a military family?
He's been in for almost 10 years, and we've been married for almost 6.
So you've been 10 years. How many times have you done a transition like this?
Luckily, this is only our second.
The second one?
Yes, but the first one, he was already established in Tacoma, and we got married, and I met him. And so he had been in Tacoma enough that I, through my visits, had met other people through him, and he was with a really tight group of people in a unit, where down here he's just kind of by himself, and so he doesn't have, we both don't have that camaraderie that we had in Tacoma.
Right. So and you say you've been here for a couple of months now. Is it that you haven't built that camaraderie yet, or you just feel that the jobs are different, locations different? I mean, what do you feel the biggest factor in not bonding with his new fellow soldiers?
Well, there are none. That it would be appropriate for him to hang out with outside of the work setting. And I mean, we've joined a church, and I actually joined a Bible study, and I feel like we've tried to get out in the community, but like at our church, we're kind of we're pretty young and have children, so we're kind of in this middle area of life where either the couples that are our age don't have children, or the couples that do have children, their children are 10 years old, where ours is 2, and they're quite a bit older than us. And so I feel like it's not that, I don't know, it's just kind of a weird place to be where we just haven't, like in Tacoma, it was all relatively our age group, same age kids. There was just more commonality to, to make friendship off of. Where here, I feel like they're just kind of varied. So I just haven't found that click with people yet.
Have you talked to your husband a lot about the stress of the transition?
Yeah, I feel like luckily we've kept our communication open pretty well. It's just it just comes back to me not wanting to add extra stress onto him because, I feel like he's just doing a lot for our family right now.
Does he feel the same way about it, or are you guys polar opposites in your new take on your job?
I think I definitely am the stressor in the family. He's
Gotcha.
very easygoing, and he just kind of goes with the flow, and he doesn't make me feel this way. It's more me in my head, but where I'm a little bit of a control freak, and so I feel kind of out of control right now. So.
How close is the nearest relatives, and have they talked about coming to visit?
Yeah, so they're all in Colorado, and my mom came to visit 2 weeks ago, and then my in-laws are coming, and we have friends that just booked a trip in February. So we're lucky that we have a lot of family. But again, they come for 2-3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Is that just your side of the family, or is that both of you? You're both born and raised in Colorado?
We are, yeah. We went to we grew up together.
So really, you guys have been moving around together since high school,
and
now this is the first time where you have moved somewhere where you don't have as comfortable a support system as that.
Exactly, and we both come from very large families, and so we just coming, instant support and instant people who would, they'd be fighting each other to watch our son to come here and not have anybody that we can rely on in that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you think that with the baby coming, obviously the transition and any move, regardless of whether it's into another support system, is a big stress, but how do you think that being pregnant has impacted? Did you feel like this during your first child?
No, I was very stable. I had a good job. I had a close group of friends. I had 3 baby showers with my first kid. But I mean, the baby's not added stress. We're really excited. It's just goes back to, that's impacting me getting a job also, because I only am halfway done with my pregnancy. So I don't really know. It's hard to go to a job and be like, oh, I'm going to need maternity leave in 6 months or 4 months,
So do you feel that because you had such a support system, the first one, that maybe that's what's amplifying some of the stress, and specifically you focusing on the support system here versus everywhere else?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I have enough information to kind of do an assessment on you.
Okay,
so we'll go ahead and
sounds good.
stop the video. Okay, so for my added credits or my inserts, I'm going to have to do it at the end because we can't seem to figure out how to do it actually in the video. So I got all the time hacks that I'll talk about. But the first thing that I'd like to change, things that I didn't think I did well, was our posture, especially my posture, wasn't very good. We didn't really create a setting. We just kind of sat next to each other in 2 chairs to get the project done. But as I watched the video, I definitely don't think it was comforting. I had my arms folded, and I did kind of fidget a little bit, moving my arms. I never got comfortable, so the expectation is the client would probably not get comfortable unless we had already built some sort of relationship. So the second thing was at about 7:30 in the video. I kind of asked 2 questions and started babbling, and then finally I did decide on a question asked very directly. But I kind of tried to go 2 different avenues or 2 different ways with my questioning, and ended up not really getting a clear statement out. I did kind of catch it as I was doing it, and I just ended with a question, but definitely would have liked to have a little bit more clarity prepared while she was talking to where I wanted to go next. Some of the things I did good, especially early on, was about 112. I had some good reflection questions. I said things like, just so I understand, and then clarified what we were talking about so that I had an understanding. And she had so many possible factors in the beginning that I kind of focused on one and then kind of went to the others as the video went on. So I think I always reflected, made sure she knew I was listening. About 142, that's when I kind of focused on some of the causes of the problems, and we talked about the transition, her moving from Washington here, and identified some of the things that were different, some of the things that were not necessarily in her control, but were causing her probably a little bit of stress. And then at about 2:45, it was another causation of some of her stress, just a different aspect. And I think that one was specifically more the support group, if I remember right. So those are 3 things I did well, and 2 that I think I need to improve on that'll come with experience. Thank you.